The things that happen around the campfire are an important part of the camping experience. And one of the biggest challenges that camps face is that because of the turnover of counselors, many of them are only there for a year or two, some of the traditions are very hard to maintain over time. I think that as a director and one of the stable parts of the camp, one of the people who's going to be there for a very long time, it's important that you are a storyteller and a song leader and can really engage an audience. I am probably not the best singer, but I can learn a large number of songs and can, you know, make those songs fun for a group of kids. I'm certainly not above bursting into song or being silly in order to keep an audience entertained. Storytelling has always been a part of who I am. Telling a good story is part of being a marketer, it's part of being an educator, it's part of being a camp counselor. And I recognize that you can be a good camp counselor who doesn't tell stories, but really the best counselors are the ones who can captivate their kids and earn those kids' respect so that discipline becomes a matter of expectation. You get kids that admire you, and then when you say to the child, you did this bad thing, I'm very disappointed in your behavior, they actually care that you're disappointed, as opposed to you tell them that and they're like, yeah, I don't know you from the random stranger, why do I care? And part of that is really about being somebody that they can look up to through that campfire leadership, being the person who sets that mood for the camp. And I think that that's something that some of the directors that I've worked with in the past, the very good ones, were the ones who truly embodied the spirit of the camp. And you said, yes, that person, they are an integral part of the camp, and they told the stories, and they told the authoritative version of the story. There's always the version of the ghost story that the kid tells and the version of the ghost story that the camp counselor tells. But if you want the authoritative, the real nitty-gritty version of the story, it comes from the higher up, or the person who's been there the longest, and the person with that authority. And to me, that has always been part of who I was. I always wanted to tell the best version of the story. I wanted to tell it in the best way. And I also wanted to make sure that it was adapted for whatever the audience was. The version of the story that you tell the fourth grader and the version of the story that you tell the high school kid has to be slightly different, and you have to know your audience. And I think that's something that I really bring that is unique and is a big part of who I am.